And this article in the LA Times, if people want to refresh their memory, really got some attention, even at the Air Quality Management Board. And people realize that there's a problem here. The Air Quality Management Plan that the government has put together foresees meeting an earlier ozone standard, which is easier, by 2031. 2031. We don't really have a plan to meet the current ozone standard. If you look at the Air Quality Management Plan, it says, yeah, by 2031 we'll meet the older standard, and then we'll think about the current standard, and it'll probably require another X percentage reduction in nitrous oxide emissions. When it comes to ozone and particulate matter, which are two problems, it mostly all comes from nitrous oxide emissions. And those come from whenever you burn things. It's kind of unavoidable. You can reduce the emissions a lot, and every new generation of equipment and appliances and cars has reduced emissions, but we've sort of reached a point where we just have to stop burning things if we want to actually get in compliance with the ozone standard. And there are some really important reasons to do that. Ozone causes asthma and possibly a lot of other health problems. So this is something we need to do something about. And the city, bless its heart, has started to take more serious action about it. There's a council file, 17-0309, and pass this around if people want to look at it. This is this is the key report in it. And the council file is designed to address freeway pollution. So mostly it's about adding air filters and so on to apartments that are within 1,000 feet of a freeway. But they also said, let's address the pollution at the source to some extent and reduce pollution in cars by doing something to encourage electric vehicle adoption. And that's great. There's nothing bad about that, except that they're not being especially ambitious. They chose a very attainable goal of 5%, I think, of parking spaces wired with EV chargers and 20% capable of being wired with EV chargers. I'm sorry, ready to be wired for all new multifamily residential parking. That sounds good. That's a lot more than we have now. And they chose that number because they have been working with developers who request variances for the last couple of years. And they say, well, one of the things you're going to have to do is put in 5% of your parking spots with EV chargers and 20% ready to just drop them in. So they knew that developers are willing and able to do that. So great. That's politics. It's the art of the possible. Except that if we want to meet our air quality goals, we have to move a lot faster. Not to mention our climate change goals, which are kind of important too. And there's a third reason we need to be a little more ambitious. Electric vehicles are coming down in price quite a bit. Volkswagen, I almost said Volkswagen, announced this week that they are planning massive, what is the word in English? Mass production of several lines of cars that will be based on a common electric chassis. They will not have combustion engines. None of the cars that they're introducing in that series will have combustion engines. They'll be designed from the ground up to be electric, and they'll be cheaper, a lot cheaper than a Tesla. They're aiming for $23,000.
I'm supposed to forgive them and buy them?
That's what they're hoping.
No, just buy them.
Right. Yeah. Forgiveness not necessary.
Because you're sitting over there, I forgot to ask you to introduce
Oh,
yourself.
Oh,
correct.
I apologize.
It's
Yeah,
my
I've
fault.
known most of you, but not all of you.
Yeah.
I'm Lisa, and I used to chair the Green Committee back in the day, so I know most of the folks here.
Now you're
Oh, and
active.
I'm on the board of the Neighborhood Council Sustainability Alliance, and Dan is our new advocacy chair of the Alliance.
Yeah, thanks.
She invited me to do that. Where was I?
Maybe you don't want questions yet?
Sorry?
Do you want questions yet?
Give me a moment.
Yeah.
We're the city could lead here, and under other circumstances, what we're doing could be seen as leading, except that 3 other cities near us got there first. Oakland and San Francisco all require all new resident multifamily parking spaces to be EV capable, and so does West Hollywood.
Wow.
We are being beaten by West Hollywood. Can we let this happen? No, we cannot let this happen. So I think that neighborhood councils should speak up and say, city, you're taking the easy way out. Let's be a little more ambitious. And there are a couple of fine points in how those other 3 cities went about it. Stakeholders in Oakland, who were going to be on the hook to do this, said, we could, instead of hooking up 20% of the cars, of the parking spots to be able to have an EV charger, we could do all of them if you did 2 things to make it cheaper. One is only require us to do the hard parts first. The parts that would be hard later. You know how it is when you build something in from the start, it's cheaper and easier because you don't have to do things like drill holes through concrete walls. So they said, let's just do the parts that would be hard later. Because that saves a lot of money. And second, let's take advantage of the fact that not all cars are going to have to charge at the same time, and only require enough power from the power company and in the power panel to charge 1/5 of the cars simultaneously. If you've ever had panel work done to install an air conditioner or something, you know it's expensive. So those 2 things were thumbed up in Oakland, and those 3 cities, San Francisco, Oakland, and West Hollywood, are using that idea. So it's important for health, it's important for saving money, and it's important for cars that are really cool to drive. I drive an EV, and I'll never go back. It's like just so zippy, and it doesn't break and it doesn't smell.
Might be a dumb question, but do they charge to charge your car? So you have to pay a fee?
That is beyond the scope of this. Apartment buildings could decide to not charge. They could decide to charge too much. There's all sorts of possible arrangements.
When you drive your car and park in a public parking space like at Pasadena, they have charging.
And I've used those. Yes, in general.
Oh, okay.
For instance,
I never knew.
a couple days ago, I went to Northridge, and on the way back, I decided that I would give in to my range anxiety and charge a little bit, because I had enough power to get home, but only just barely. So I did a quick charge for 15 minutes and charged my car halfway out, and that cost $8. It's pretty good. $8 for 50 miles range, but it's kind of expensive. Yeah. So it depends on the place. Some are free. The ones that the DWP does are free because they're sort of loss leaders, as it were. It's always cheaper to charge at home.
The question I was going to ask, because I wasn't clear whether the proposal, even as it is now, is only for multifamily residential buildings. It's not for individual
Individual
residences.
residences, new single-family homes have to already have this.
Oh, they do?
They got that already.
Wow.
But we're not building that many of those. Most of the new construction is multifamily.
Okay.
I guess another reason to act is because the mayor's goals are pretty ambitious for both clean air and EV. And he's raising the goals even more to be ready for the 2028 Olympics. And in order to meet those goals, essentially every new parking spot has to be able to handle an EV. With all that in mind, here's a draft resolution I've been working on that says this stuff somewhat concisely. And that is not.
Is that extra?
Pardon?
Is that extra?
It's blank. Do you want me to? It's blank. Yeah.
Oh,
It's scrap paper.
Oh, that's a copy of it.
Here's an extra one. That's a lot of words.
And this is only residential construction.
This one, the older draft might not have this, but my current draft adopts what West Hollywood chose as its goal, which was to require 20% of non-residential spaces to be EV capable.
So that would be new, non-residential.
Right.
Like
And
a new
that's-
parking lot or.
Right. And I think there's good reasons to be cautious there. The city council was not dumb in not going too far beyond what builders were comfortable with. That was actually smart. So let's be smart and not require huge new parking lots to have all this stuff yet, practically speaking. So that's kind of my pitch.
Okay. I think the way we would proceed, if we want to, we can talk about, we would have to make a motion in our committee to have the governing board approve the motion.
Right.
And to do that, we have to have the motion language and everything on the agenda.
Right.
So that people see it ahead of time. So,
Right, so you can just take this
yeah,
as something for the next meeting.
I think so.
Absolutely.
How do people feel about it? Everybody is welcome in this to vote, by the way. We're not voting on anything now, but everybody is a member for the union, so you two are. Urban design, how do you feel?
No, I think it's a good move, potentially a good move. I think it'd be a marketing advantage for a lot of these residential buildings, because the cars are coming, the electric cars are coming, all the Ford, Chevy, all of them are doing it.
Volvo.
And Volvo is going all
All
electric.
electric.
Yeah.
So it's I think there's a demand coming, and this will happen. This might, eventually, it might help push it faster.
Yeah, it'll also put buildings that are being built now in a good position for what's happening over the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, you see the progression of all this happening. About 20 years ago, developers and people building larger scale projects were saying, oh, what is LEED? I don't
Yeah.
understand what that is. And now it's commonplace and all of them want to be a part of it. 10 years ago, people and consumers were saying, well, what's an electric car? Oh God, I don't know, that Prius is weird. And now it is commonplace. So over the next 10 years, you're gonna start seeing electric vehicles, electric parking spaces becoming more commonplace. So I think this is a really great idea. I'm actually surprised that the city of LA hasn't pushed something further like this to at least meet places like West Hollywood, San Francisco, Oakland, especially considering the population we have here.
Two more notes. This proposal is technology neutral in that it doesn't say you must install chargers now.
Right.
Let's wait until they settle down, you know, to install lots of chargers. Let's only install the chargers we need. And second, at the stakeholders meeting that the mayor's office and Koretz's office held recently, they presented a chart of what other cities were doing, and they either didn't know what the cities were really doing or they intentionally soft pedaled it. So I think they may be aware that they're not being very ambitious here. So a little fire on the feet might be a good thing.
Yeah. But, you know, even this is actually very realistic and very attainable.
Yeah.
Because it's actually very little upfront cost right now for the developer to go in there and make the way for this to happen, so that when it does happen, they can easily just plug into the system.
And it's not even asking for a whole lot of power.
Exactly.
Isn't asking for a lot.
No,
It
no,
really
it's
isn't.
very smart.
Let's do this thing.
The Wilshire Neighborhood Council has already voted on it.
On an earlier version of it that's pretty similar. Yeah. Also, Northridge, Northridge East of Green or Sustainability or whatever they call it, also voted to put it on the main board's agenda.
Same. Okay, good. Well, without taking a vote, how do people feel?
Sure.
Move forward with it?
Definitely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
The more people see these chargers, the more they'll think, hey, you know, I can do this and buy an electric car.
Yeah.
I mean, the wildfires should persuade us, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's smoky out there. I was just up in, the valley.
Do it, do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Many compelling reasons.
Cool.
Okay, we'll move forward on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks very much for coming, and Hugh, thanks for bringing this to the board.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.